This story begins in a world where ancestors gave people powers, but they eventually disappeared. Monsters appeared in their place, and the world has become extremely dangerous. Adventure is now entering dungeons to fight these beasts in the hopes of restoring peace. Our protagonist, Alina, begins her day by getting ready for work and making a commitment to give her all. Alina is a guild receptionist, and the safety it comes with makes it the ideal job for her. She just stands around while smiling at adventurers, and eventually she gets to go home. One day, everyone is amazed as the one known as the Raging Blade arrives. Alina is greatly irritated by Ganzu, a guild elite, for his habit of dragging his large, massive feet. Ganzu announces that he will be taking on the Hellflame Drag and shocking everyone. No adventurer has been able to complete the quest, so that is why they have turned to Ganzu. Alina asks him for his guild ID, but Gans is insulted as he reminds her that he is a member of the guild's top party, the Silver Sword. Alina gets frustrated because she just wants to do her job, but she hides it and politely explains that to Ganzu. Ganzu cleverly tries to show his face instead, but Alina eventually forces him to hand over his ID. With that settled, Alina sees that there's still a super long line, but she reminds herself to put on her customer service face. That night, all the adventurers get hammered at a bar, but Alina's stuck pushing paperwork back at the guild. She wants to clock out and go home, and she imagines all the relaxing things she could do. This procrastinating pro thinks about leaving all this work for future Alina, but she realizes that it will just keep piling up. She wants to make sure that she at least clocks out on time tomorrow, so she slams down some Red Bull and goes into hyperdrive. It turns out that all this overtime is falling on her because of the Hellflame Dragon. Monsters keep appearing out of its dungeon because no one can defeat it. Adventurers will just keep accepting quests to defeat those monsters until someone defeats the boss. Because of this, Alina has to deal with the endless customers during the day and endless paperwork at night. She is at her wit's end, so she unleashes a barrage of profanity at the Hellfire Dragon for ruining her life. If someone would just defeat it, she could get her peace back. Alina's frustration reaches a critical level, as she harbors a deep-seated aversion to working overtime and is determined to ensure she clocks out punctually. Down in the deepest part of the dungeon, the Silver Sword battles the Hellfire Dragon. The leader, Jade, does well to protect his party. But Ganzu's attack does nothing to the giant dungeon boss. The dragon sends Ganzu flying into oblivion, so their healer heals him, but Jade's magic attack also proves to be futile. Ganzu gives up as he realizes that he's simply not strong enough for the beast, and Jay decides that they must retreat just as a mysterious adventurer whose identity is completely unknown barges in. Jay instructs her to flee for her life, but she disregards his advice and instead uses her skill to summon a weapon. Summoning a weapon that way is pretty shocking to Jade, and the girl angrily charges at the dragon while cursing it out. It's clearly our protagonist that she takes to the air while blaming the dragon for her being stuck in overtime hell, and her attack actually manages to hurt the beast. She deflects its counterattack, persisting in her use of profanity to her deep-seated resentment towards the dragon for forcing her to clock out late. The dragon takes to the air to unleash its most powerful attack, but it doesn't affect Alina at all. After seeing a curse word so vulgar that it has to be censored in the subtitles, Alina unleashes her final blow, and the giant beast is completely defeated. Those in Silver Sword are stunned, and Jade wonders if this mystery person is actually the legendary Executioner, the mysterious adventurer who's able to solo the bosses of dungeons that no one else can conquer. Adventurers normally fight in parties, but the Executioner does everything alone. The beast is defeated, but all Alina cares about is that she will finally be able to go home on time. She turns to leave and Jade is shocked to get a glimpse of her face. The next day, Alina is horrified as she has done it again. Her little escapade has landed her in the newspaper. The guild wants to find the executioner at all costs. Gans is retiring from Silver Sword, so the guild wants her to be Silver Sword's new attacker. Just and Alina must deny knowing anything about the executioner. Her buddy Layla is a huge fan, and she is sure that the Silver Sword would be invincible if the executioner joined. No one knows her identity, so Layla hopes that she is found soon. Of course, if it were discovered that Alina had been soloing dungeon bosses with a fake license card, killed the receptionist, and couldn't have any side job, she would face immediate termination. The job does have its downfalls, but it gives Alina great benefits. It provides good security and employment for life. Best of all, she gets to go home at the same time every day as long as there is no overtime. That's actually why she became a receptionist in the first place. So she refuses to let her life end now by getting found out. At guild headquarters, Jay desperately searches for the girl he saw that night. His party questions if it could really be a girl because the executioner's weapon is so huge, but Jade is certain she is a girl with black hair and green eyes, and she is young. Jade's friends think he's too fixated on her, but Jade asks for a little more time because he really needs to find her. While his teammates wait, they go find some healthy snacks. Lulu complains about napping too much, but he can't help it because he stays up all night studying grimoires. Elsewhere, a guy with facial tattoos is enraged after being made fun of. He vows to get revenge, but some terrifying skeleton man approaches him. Nearby, Jade stares at the relic that was dropped by the Hellfire. Dragon relics have the Dia mark on them, signifying that it contains the techniques of the ancestors. They grant powers to anyone who uses them, and any adventurer would die to have one. But the executioner didn't seem to care at all. Also, the power she used wasn't like the Dia techniques. Jade is shocked when he thinks she might have what is known as a Dia skill, so he vows to find her no matter what. Just then, a strange wind brings his attention to a girl, and he is shocked to see that she looks just like the executioner. Jade quickly follows her, and is in disbelief as she walks into the Adventurers Guild. Inside, Alina is relieved that there aren't many adventures to deal with today. Jade casually walks in to greet her, but Alina can't understand why Silver Sword's leader is here. She fears that he might be investigating the executioner, and she wonders if he already figured her out. Alina calms herself down as she remembers that her face was covered and she uses a fake name on her license. There should be no way anyone could find her. Jade explains that he saw someone using an incredible warhammer, and he wonders if she knows anything about it. Of course, Alina denies even knowing the name, and she tries to go ask someone. Jade doesn't let her, however, as he explains that he has really sharp eyes and he got a good look at the girl's face. Jade already knows Alina's name and she freaks out. She thought her hood was enough to hide her face, especially in that dark dungeon. Her cover is blown, however, and Jade says that he never expected the executioner to be a guild receptionist. Alina dramatically says goodbye to her life as a guild receptionist, but she reminds herself that the job is too stable and secure to just give up on. Alina calmly puts on her customer service face and tells Jade that this is not the appropriate place to talk. They take their conversation to an alley where Jade gives her the spoils of her battle. Alina expresses great gratitude and explains that the strength and durability of relics are unmatched. She accentuates their near indestructibility, only to shatter them into a million pieces mere seconds later. Jade is stunned to see that she smashed the relic with a single hand, and Alina calmly explains that she just wants to live a peaceful life as a guild receptionist. Alina then ditches the fake smile to warn that she will make him regret it if he interferes with her quest for peace. She starts cursing like a sailor again as she threatens to squash Jade, just like she did to the dragon. Her final message is for him to get away from her as fast as he can, and she never wants to see his face ever again. Alina tries to leave, but the brave Jade uses his skill to stop her. He can make anything he touches harden, but this really upsets Alina. She summons her weapon and shows how serious she is as Jade just barely manages to dodge her attack. Jade is horrified, but Alina is serious about not letting her guild receptionist career, and Jade manages to make her pause for a moment as he wonders where she got her weapon from. He thinks it might be a Dia skill, but that should be impossible. They are skills of legend, and it is said that they died along with the ancestors. Alina is indifferent and is determined to persist in her battles. However, Jade is not present to engage in combat. He declares that he wants Alina, but she threatens to sue him for harassment. Jade confesses that he hasn't been able to stop thinking about her since the battle, and he needs her to be the attacker for Silver Sword. Alina has had enough and reiterates that she just wants to live a peaceful life as a good receptionist. Jade thinks he's being clever when he points out that if she really just wanted to live a peaceful life, then she wouldn't have soloed a dungeon boss. He is shocked, however, when Alina explains that she just didn't want to work overtime. Jade has no clue what she's talking about, so Alina describes the despair of seeing endless mountains of paperwork. She was stuck in overtime hell because losers like Jade kept dragging their feet. They were taking forever to defeat the dragon, so she had no choice but to finish the job. She was able to get her regular clock-out time back with her own 2 hands, and now she's being punished by people trying to uncover her identity. Jade thinks he has the perfect solution, as he says that she won't have to work overtime if she joins Silver Sword, but Alina points out that's only because there's no clock-out time for adventurers. Alina finally makes it clear that she has no intentions of joining Silver Sword, and she leaves. However, before she goes, she declares that she will make Jade regret it if he ever speaks a word of this to anyone. Alina finally returns to her peaceful job and declares that nothing beats clocking out on time. She can now do whatever she wants after work and even have time to stop by a cake store. Just then, these dreams of hers are crushed as the tattooed guy barges into the guild. He demands that he be given a secret quest, and Alina fears that this guy might lead to more overtime for her. I appreciate you viewing my anime recap, Unruly Family. Please let me know what you think about this anime recap by liking, sharing, and commenting, and please subscribe to the channel to help us reach 5,000 subscribers.